Jack Della taking on Belal Muhammad at UFC 315. He has a way about like he's a poker. He pokes, he pokes, he pokes, he pokes. Woo, beautiful shot from Jack Della. Like Jack Della was landing the cleaner shots. This is the shot that won him the fight. This technique right here. This jab. And here's a beautiful flying knee from Jack Della because he was trying to time Belal Muhammad coming in for that takedown. Jack Della doesn't accept the position. He's always working to get out of position. This was the blueprint to beat Belal Muhammad. Out jab him, out move him, defend a takedown, and don't let him stifle you with his pressure. What's going on, boys? Welcome back to the channel, and we have another Void video breakdown for you. Jack Della taking on Belal Muhammad at UFC 315. This was a great fight. Very technical and very interesting. I thought it was very interesting because I felt the judges really gave Jack Della a lot of points for defending the takedown. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and also hit the bell to go live. All right, right now we're in the UK, so we apologize we didn't do a instant reaction. It was 6 a.m. here in the UK, but I did watch the fight in bed with the wife. Very great fight, like I said before. Here we go. One of the things that popped out in my mind right when this fight got started, when they showed the difference of each other, they don't have it here. Oh, there it is, yeah. 36 years old. So Belal Muhammad is at that, you know, pretty much at the tail end of his career at 36 years old, especially a champion, taking on a very young 28-year-old athlete. So 36, 28, that was the biggest thing that stuck out to me, was just the age difference. You know, other than that, everything else looks pretty much on par. Obviously, 5 to 12 KOs. 1 submission to 2 submissions. So, and then you really could see in this fight that Jack was, you know, more inclined standing up, even though he has a very decent ground game. Let's get to it, boys. And another thing I realized when I was watching this fight too is that in the beginning of the first round, Jack Della does such a good job of moving. Like I felt even watching the fight coming up to, when it came to Prize Picks, did you guys know this video is sponsored by Prize Picks? Now, Prize Picks is a daily fantasy sports game you can play directly from your phone. It's very simple. All you gotta do is go to your app store, download Prize Picks. When you do that, use my promo code MIGHTY. Now, when we're doing the Prize Picks, we made our picks. We did go more on Belal Muhammad because he typically doesn't finish his opponents, and I didn't see Belal Muhammad getting finished. Now, when I was laying in bed watching this, I was like, I'm gonna hit that W on Prize Picks for more on Belal Muhammad. And you guys do the same as well. Get in the game and have some fun with Prize Picks. Just make your picks at the right place, which is Prize Picks. Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this video. Now, let us get back to the Void breakdown of Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della. Jack Della versus Belal Muhammad is that Jack Della does a good job of moving on his feet. He has a high, tight guard. He went from southpaw to orthodox. He was really popping a jab, and he has a way about like he's a poker. Like he pokes, he pokes, he pokes, he pokes, pokes. And then when he gets off, that's when he gets off. I felt if Jack Della would have done more combinations, like you hear Ilya Deporia says, you know, a lot of people just go 1-2. Then they stop. Instead of going 1-2-3, 1-1-2, that I felt like if he did that more, you saw him do it more at the end of the fight, you would see, I think Jack would have had a lot more success earlier in the fight. But in the beginning of the fight, Belal Muhammad didn't jump on him, right? And that's where I felt, that's where Belal Muhammad does very well, is getting across that void. But right here, look at this jab, good technique from Jack Della. Like I said, he's pretty sharp on the feet, and he wasn't allowing Belal Muhammad to walk him down the whole entire time. And I felt like this technique right here, the jab, won him the fight, and his movement won him the fight because Belal had a hard time finding him. And there's another shot from, you know, Jack Della landing a beautiful right hand against Belal Muhammad. And Belal would do, he would go, each time he get hit, he would fire back. Each time he got hit, he would fire back. And that's why at the end of the fight, you saw him go boom, move, and slip and hit him with the right hand. Beautiful right hand. And when it comes to who outlanded, it was definitely Jack Della who landed the harder shots and the more damaging shots. And I always don't like say damaging because, you know, sometimes people wear it different than other. But obviously at the end of the fight, you could tell Belal Muhammad was more busted up in the fight than Jack Della. But beautiful right hand from Jack Della, always pressuring. He was always trying to exchange and land a big shot against Belal Muhammad. Great shot from Jack. Right here. And he was very versatile in his strikes. He used a lot of teeps in the fight to force Belal Muhammad to come across the void. Some upward elbows too. And this is where Belal Muhammad shines, is when he gets super close. They knew that when Belal got in this area, right here, in this part of the void, this was good for Belal Muhammad. This is where Belal did his best work in this fight, his previous fight, and all his fights is when he gets to this distance, he does his best work. But he didn't have as much success, and he defended pretty much a lot of the takedowns. The only time I hope the producer put this technique in the takedown. We were talking about this certain technique, how to defend a takedown in the gym. Jack Della was doing it, and I said, I'm not the biggest fan of this technique because you expose your back. When you turn your arm into the takedown in the neck, you go for the ninja choke. You saw John Silva do it to Bryce Mitchell. But when you do that, a good wrestler's just going to go around your back and get your back and put the hooks in. And we saw Belal Muhammad do it. But once again, Jack Della doesn't accept the position. He's always working to get out of position. And I felt if Jack Della would not accept the position when Belal Muhammad would take him down, he would win this fight. It was funny. I was sitting in the kitchen. Whoo, beautiful shot from Jack Della. Jack Della was landing the cleaner shots, right? Like, I was in the kitchen and I was telling my wife, I was like, I think Jack Della is going to beat him. Like, there's just something about like because I feel there's only one way Belal was going to beat him, was that if Belal could smother him and hold him down. Right, you look when he fought Sean Brady. You look when he fought Leon Edwards. His Belal crosses the void, gets on his opponents, and doesn't allow them to get a game off. But Jack Della has he does a good job of moving. Southpaw, the orthodox, throwing kicks, being game, not accepting the position. Also, when he didn't accept the position, he wasn't going to accept the fact that Belal Muhammad was going to put him on his back foot. And here it is right here, a beautiful right hand coming from Belal Muhammad, from Jack Della, right down the pipe where Belal eats it. But beautiful right hand. His hand is down right here, but I do believe the way he fights, he fights longer. Belal doesn't really go boom, boom. Like, this is like a kill shot right here. All his weight is going into this shot against Belal Muhammad. So if he was to land it, he's either going to land it good and push him away, and it's either going to be a kill shot. But good shot from Jack Della. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him and Islam. And like I said, Belal Muhammad threw some heat too. He landed some great shots as well. It wasn't like it was just a one-sided fight. It was back and forth. But I do feel that Jack Della did land the bigger shots of the fight, and he did have the bigger moments. Now, there was time where Belal Muhammad threw him in a beautiful, when Jack Della went for that Barza guard, he went here, try to run across him, a knee tap. And then you saw Belal Muhammad just fucking lateral drop him. Beautiful lateral drop from Belal Muhammad. But there's a beautiful right hand from Jack Della, and that's Jack Della in southpaw. Another shot from Jack Della with the right hand. Like, he was doing a good job of coming over Belal Muhammad's jab, right? He would throw the right hand and land, or Belal Muhammad throw the jab and he'll come right after the right hand over top of him. It's almost like he was a little bit taller, but Belal Muhammad kind of sits down when he throws his punches. But he was eating that right hand all damn day, finding it home for the right hand. And then when Belal Muhammad, when Jack would jab, he would catch him. He would catch him with a jab over and over and over. There's Belal Muhammad throwing a beautiful right hand at Jack Della. And I was shocked that Jack Della did not wrestle. I was very shocked by that. But, he was winning the exchange on the feet, and, he felt no reason to wrestle. But I felt like once Belal Muhammad wrestled him against the cage, and then Jack Della turned around and wrestled him, that drains an athlete. It truly drains him when you think you're going to be doing the wrestling and then you're getting out wrestled, right? I was shocked that they didn't go to that. Once again, this is the shot that won him the fight. This technique right here. This jab. From southpaw to orthodox. Always changing. Always moving around the void. This was the technique that beat Belal Muhammad, because it stifled Belal Muhammad. You didn't see Belal Muhammad. Like, the same movement Belal had against Leon Edwards and Sean Brady, it wasn't the same movement whatsoever. But this technique here, this jab that Jack Della did, motherfucker looked like a boxer out there, was the technique that won him this fight, in my opinion, is that he was pop, 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 move, pop. And once again, Belal Muhammad did a good job with those body kicks, landed right on the liver. Right, a lot of people don't give Belal Muhammad credit, but that's a finisher shot right there, bro. That's a liver shot. That is a pinpoint liver shot right there. So the fact that people don't give him enough credit that he does go out there and try to finish fights, you know, you guys, I always love people like, oh, these guys suck. I was like, well, I haven't seen you fucking fight before. You know, there are the peers of the group who say, you know, Ilia Topuria says he doesn't finish anybody. It's true, but, you know, maybe he doesn't have finishing ability. Not everybody's going to have the same KO power as Ilia Topuria or other athletes. Once again, like I said, Jack Della was using, you know, all types of technique to knock out Belal Muhammad. And here's a beautiful flying knee from Jack Della because he was trying to time Belal Muhammad coming in for that takedown. Once again, once Belal Muhammad crosses that void, he's looking to take you down or do these little strikes. And there's a beautiful flying knee from Jack Della, and he's going to land right into the clinch as well. So beautiful technique, and he's very athletic. I mean, they're both athletic, but on the feet, I felt Jack Della did move better. You know, the head movement and the 1-2, nice and tight and crisp. Right there, jab. Jab once again. This was the blueprint to beat Belal Muhammad. Out jab him, out move him, defend a takedown, and don't let him stifle you with his pressure. And this was the end of the fight. This is when Jack Della was getting off, right? When I sat there and watched the fight, I felt that Belal Muhammad was doing enough to beat him based on the criteria that we've seen before in fights, right? Yes, Jack Della was outstriking him, but it didn't feel like it was significant enough. I felt that when Belal Muhammad was out pressuring him, as I was sitting there watching the fight, granted it's fucking 5 a.m. in UK time, I felt Belal Muhammad wasn't losing the fight at a huge stretch. I felt the final round, Jack Della made it clear that he won the fight because he was bop, 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 just piecing him up on the feet. And beautiful shot. And let's take a look at this. Look, Belal Muhammad's going this way, right? He's looking this way where Jack is countering him because Belal Muhammad would throw one shot and miss, come back home, another shot and miss, come back home. And this is where Jack Della was being boom, 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 boom. Almost kind of Connor style, but beautiful work from Jack Della right here. Like this is where he got off. When Jack Della gets off, when he got off in this fight, he was winning and succeeding. Right, once again, look at the hands right here. This is where he was piecing him up right here. Good shot from Jack Della. Like I said before, this right here, he out jabbed him, right? Just the footwork on the feet was just fucking clean. Like this right here, like, yeah. When I saw him fight first time, he has this tight little boxing. Like, I would love to know if his background is boxing. And this is where it was interesting. Right when Belal Muhammad finally got to a spot where he was able to start grounding, pounding, and putting, you know, try to steal the round, essentially. Like, I'll be curious, did the judges give him this round? Right? I believe this is in the fourth or the fifth round. And then you see Jack Della just stand up. He just gets up. Doesn't frame, doesn't, you know, move, scoot his butt away. He just frames it, gets up. That just shows you the sheer power of how strong Jack Della is. Right here. And then Jack Della won it. Right? I thought in the pickup, you know, when we did the final predictions, I thought Belal Muhammad was going to win because we never seen Jack Della go to deep waters. We've seen him fight Gilbert Burns, and we see that was a great fight. He ended up beating Gilbert Burns, but we never see him fight a caliber of a champion like Belal Muhammad. And, you know, Jack Della won this fight. And this, if anything, the biggest thing about this fight is what was going to happen if Belal Muhammad beat Jack Della or Jack Della beat Belal Muhammad, which was Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. What was going to happen to those guys? So let's continue the stills, and I'm sure the producer has put some in here that all we can talk about. There's Jack Della winning the belt. I think a lot of people didn't see this coming. You know, of course, all the Aussies saw this coming, but I didn't see it coming. I thought Belal Muhammad was going to be able to stifle him. Now, here is the strikes. Now, let's take a look at this. Jack Della landing 178, my goodness, to 132. 52 strikes, 200 thrown, 364. And right here, this is where I think also won him the fight right here. He defended 6 takedowns. 6 takedowns. Right? Even though the control time for Belal Muhammad was more, I felt the judges gave him some kudos for defending the takedown. Yeah, 47-48, 47-48, 46-49. I would question that one. I question that one. This right here seems more like it. I felt going to the 5th, it was kind of dead even. And then I felt Jack Della really did a good job when he got out there. I feel this was more correct. I question that one. But right there, 178 to 132. Defended 6 takedowns. He landed none. So maybe 3 of those, let's say 3 of those cancel out. So he defended 3 takedowns. So Belal landed 3. He shot 3. I mean, yeah. But I felt it was 47-48. I felt more comfortable with that reading than the 46-49. I felt it was a very, very close fight. Not a split decision, but I felt it was, one after one. And there he is, the welterweight champion, Della Maddalena, Jack. Okay. Do I think it was fight of the year? Nah, I don't think it was fight of the year. I don't think it was fight of the year, but I've never questioned Belal Muhammad's heart. A lot of people out there, like I said before, have questioned Belal Muhammad's heart. I've never done it because I'm an athlete. I know how hard how hard it is to go out there and fight and defend your belt. A lot of people who question his heart, either just don't like him or don't have ever stepped foot in a very highly competitive combat sport. But I don't think it was fight of the year. We still got 6 months left, and I don't think it was back and forth now. Now, here we go, boys. Here we go. I do love this. I do respect this about Dana White. He did said that, if Jack Della wins, he will give Islam Makhachev the opportunity to go up and fight for the 170-pound belt, which I think Islam Makhachev has done enough. He's beat Volk twice. He's beat pretty much everybody in the lightweight division. Charles Oliveira, he hasn't fought Justin Gaethje. I think it's time for him to have the opportunity to become a double champ. And I like this fight a lot. I like it a lot because, they both move good on the feet. They both move a lot. Body kicks. You can definitely see Islam go for a double leg takedown, uses judo, his wrestling. And how would Jack Della respond? Jack Della's crisp on the feet as well with his hands and straight punches. They're both big 170ers, and I'm excited for this fight. If I had to guess, this fight will probably take place at MSG. Reason why I say that is because you have Jack Della who just fought. He's pretty banged up. So let's give him 2 months to recover. That puts us in May, June, July. Okay, July. Then you have, I would like Jack Della to get at least 3 to 2 months to prepare for this fight. So July, August, September, October, November 5th is right when they're going to do it. So if I had to say it, they'll probably put this fight on next to hopefully John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. If I had to guess, this is going to be MSG, Madison Square Garden. That's when this fight's going to happen. But I'm very happy that they have decided to give Islam Makhachev the opportunity to fight for the 170-pound strap. But here's the thing. Now they're saying it's going to be Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. Now, I doubt this is going to be the fight that's going to happen. The reason why is because I was supposed to do autograph signing for a company in Arizona, but they said, unfortunately, we're going to go with Charles Oliveira because Charles Oliveira was prior to doing this autograph session. He was booked to go out there and do it before me. And he said that I'm not fighting in July. Obviously, things change all the time. I'm not fighting in July, so I'll give you a discount and still do this tour with you guys. So unless my colleague is lying to me, which he damn well could be lying to me, I don't think this is the fight that's going to happen. But let's say this fight is going to happen. Charles Oliveira taking on Ilia Topuria. I'm going to go with Ilia Topuria. The reason why is because when Charles Oliveira, he has been dropped multiple times in his fights. And Ilia Topuria has been dropped, you know, a couple times in his fight when he fought Jay Herbert. The athlete who got back up and started taking it more to his opponent on the feet was, they both have, I should say. But I like how Ilia Topuria goes about when he does get dropped. He keeps on pressing the pace. He keeps on trying to knock out his opponent. So does Charles Oliveira. But the two difference is that when those guys hurt Charles Oliveira, they allowed him to get up, where Ilia Topuria worked through the chaos. Charles went to his back, recovered, got an opportunity to get back on his feet and get back in a gunfight. My guess, my knowledge says that if Ilia Topuria is able to hurt Charles Oliveira, he will put Charles Oliveira away. I don't think he's going to allow Charles Oliveira to get back to his feet and go again. If he does, he's very confident that he's going to be able to knock him out. So I'm very excited. If this fight does happen, I think it's going to take place in International Fight Week. Reason why is because depending on who wins this fight, they'll recover. They'll watch the winner of Jack Della versus Islam Makhachev at UFC in MSG. And then depending on who wins that, like I said, if Jack Della beats Islam Makhachev will go back down and defend his belt at lightweight. If Islam beats Jack Della, you can see Islam going back down to fight and defend his belt at lightweight. And, you know, either way, Islam's going to fight the winner of this. I don't see Jack Della make him lightweight. But if Islam beats him, he's a double champ. He's going to go down there and defend his belt one more time. And I bet you if he goes down there and defends his belt against Ilia Topuria or Charles Oliveira, we can see Islam Makhachev call it a career. Because after that, there's nothing left for him to do. He's the welterweight champion, lightweight champion, defends his belt lightweight. There's nothing left for him to do. And there's the chip right now, Jack Della, looking proud and happy, waiting to see when his opportunity is going to be where he can fight Islam Makhachev. So boys, if you enjoyed this video, this breakdown of how Jack Della got the job done at UFC 315 against Belal Muhammad, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live. And let me know in a comment below if you thought the judges got it right with Jack Della beating Belal Muhammad. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.